Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for SUI render and FET price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. We're gonna start with FET on the daily here, where we are looking at an impulse toward the upside 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1 or wave A, ABC correction, wave 2 or wave B, followed by an impulse a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, meaning we have finished potential zigzag over there for wave A, and you have of course 3 waves down for wave B. You're looking for wave C potentially for higher prices. Another bullish scenario is a 1, 2, another 1, 2, and you're looking for higher, of course, in a wave 3 towards the upside. Final scenario as bullish as well is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, leading diagonal. Wave 5 has to unfold as an impulse because all the wave 1 and 3 are impulses. However, very low possibility wave 3 is very longer than the wave 1. Now, a question mark, very important question mark, what happened? Because in all these bullish scenario, we would like to see, of course, a massive move toward the upside. If this was the case, we should have moved for higher since a long time ago. And we see already a 1, 2, another 1, 2. This wave 2 is ranging so much in time, and it has broken the momentum toward the upside. As you can see, the lower lows here has been broken, of course, within this trend, and currently we are ranging, of course, below this trend, which is not a good signal, of course, for the bullish here. Meaning, if this case that has finished here as a zigzag, as a double impulses here, we can see a zigzag finished potentially as an ABC, and that means, of course, this wave C has finished already over there, and we are looking after it, of course, for something like a double 1, 2s here, and we're looking for another 1, 2, and 3, 4, and a 5. Well, this can be a scenario where you have an extended correction, as of course 3 waves down here, 3 waves up, and you have a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5, 4, and a 5, which is of course an extended correction here, ABC, before the move toward the upside again in one bullish scenario in this case, which is of course A, B, and a C, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So in this case, we are testing currently an area where we would like to see a potential 1, 2 still. In case this is a wave 2, very long in time, very complex, obviously. We're still looking, therefore, for this zone, which it can be the 0.618, 0.786 for a 1, 2. Therefore, before claiming any bearish scenario, very deep bearish scenario, I'm still going to test this area for the bullish because I don't pass any zone without testing it and, of course, testing a potential scenario for reversal. Now, currently, we are looking at a 1, 2, 3. And wave 4 given yesterday, and potentially wave 5 might unfold to this testing area, and we're gonna see the reaction in this zone, and we'll see, of course, if this is going to be a wave 2 or not. If we dive deeper inside it on the wave, on the 2 hours chart, we can see clearly that yesterday we got kind of like a corrective wave as expected, and as mentioned yesterday, this is nothing bullish over there since the starting here in the low. And we see potentially a 3 waves up, 3 waves down, and 3 waves up again, of course, for a wave Y. Currently, on the 15-minute chart, I would like to dive deeper from this top, of course, after an ABC for a wave Y. We are looking at a 1, 2, and potentially wave 3 is unfolding downward. This 1, 2 is a potential, of course, a diagonal here that we are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and of course wave 2 given, and you see, of course, continuation simply for a lower. So far we are still, of course, impulsive and nothing yet, of course, as a signal for a reversal. This move toward the upside, it doesn't look really very healthy impulse upward because the wave 2 did not reach at least the 0.38. And if you have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a wave 3, it's fine. Okay, then you have a wave 4. Your wave 5 is a catastrophe, right? So we don't see any kind of impulse here finishing a wave 5. Plus, in case this is your wave 4 and this is a part of your wave 3, the wave 4 interfered with the zone 1, meaning no impulse here. And if this is a wave 5, okay, it can be an impulse here, but the wave 4 already invalidated this impulse. And that turns it, of course, into an A, B, and a C here as a wave Y and continuation simply toward the downside. So we got to be careful with SUI, and don't forget that we broke the trend line, the momentum, and we are already impulsive. The direction of the market is downward. We got, of course, a correction after it, meaning simply continuation for lower prices. That was it for SUI. Let's move for render. So for render on the daily as well, we are looking, of course, also at a several bullish scenario. We were expecting a more bullish scenario and still expecting it, but of course, the price action currently doesn't show strength. So we have an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1 or a wave A, followed by a correction, wave 2 or a wave B, followed by also an impulse. That means you are in a 1, 2, 1, 2. You're looking for a massive wave 3 toward the upside. Another scenario is an ABC zigzag finished wave A, ABC finished wave B, and you're looking for a wave C toward the upside. Final scenario is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 leading diagonal where you would like to see a wave 5 unfolding as well as an impulse towards the upside. Now, because of course of the long range, which is looking like a triangle as a corrective wave, A, B, C, D, E here, we can see of course simply continuation toward the downside after the wave E, and we see an impulse unfolding of course, which of course giving us the potential of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to test this area again in a longer correction. 3 waves down, triangle for a wave B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a wave C, meaning A, B, and a C, 3 waves downward, where we might reach, of course, the 1.67, 1.29 for a render. And that because, of course, of the triangle pattern, we see momentum has been lost, of course, through these 1-2s. Of course, we would like to see as 1-2 something like this, moving upward and not, of course, sideways and even losing the highs. If we dive towards the 2 hours chart, we can see clearly that after this A, B, C, D, and E, we see, of course, a formation here of a triangle, very clear triangle, and we see, of course, the impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 toward the downside. Yesterday, we saw on the lower time frame a very decisive analysis for this area. Once we bottomed here after, of course, a several 1-2s here, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, kind of like you finished an impulse in this low, you start to see 3 ways up. From here, it start the things, of course, that we are not impulsive. We saw 3 ways up. We saw, of course, an overlapping downward, very complex structure. And also, again, finally, 3 waves up for this wave Y, meaning WX and a wave Y. It finished here as a corrective wave. And we move in 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5 toward the downside, continuation for the trend downward. And that means, of course, the bears are still, of course, dominating the market on the altcoins here and still looking for lower. Yep, this is the highest possibility still for a render as well. Let's see FET starting on the daily as well. So as we know, on the daily also we have many bullish scenarios for the FET, but still, of course, one bearish scenario, and this one bearish scenario might be unfolding. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a leading diagonal for a wave 1. We have, of course, correction after it, wave 2, or a wave X, because it can be even an ABC here in W, X, and a Y, where your wave Y also is a zigzag, unless it is, of course, a double 1, 2. Now, these are a perfect double 1, 2, but however, you would like to see a move toward the upside in a wave 3. Why the range is going very long and sideways, this is a question mark as well, and it needs, of course, our attention and, of course, to assess the risk over there for any kind of bullish scenarios. Currently, if we take a look, of course, on this area on the daily, we see a wave 1, and if this is a wave 2, A, B, and a C, you would like to see, of course, a move toward the upside after finishing and ending diagonal. Now, why the price is still looking for lower, and why the wave 5 is going somehow longer than the wave 3 in case we dive deeper, that means, of course, it might turn into double 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5 toward the downside. We might take the low invalidation of this impulse and turning it into a W, X, and a Y. By diving deeper on the 2 hours chart, we can see clearly that we might have broken a triangle here. And that means, of course, by breaking a triangle, that means, of course, we might have eliminated any move toward the upside, because after a potential A, B, C, D, and an E, you would like to move for higher, but actually the wave E has transformed into an impulse and still looking for lower. Now, as you can see the blue box, because I never pass an area and a zone before testing it for any kind of potential of reversal. So your potential of reversal can still be in this zone. Meaning if the price dive a little bit deeper here and we hit, of course, around the 0.5352, can still be a potential of reversal, but we still need to observe the reaction of the market if it's gonna, of course, reverse toward the upside. And if this happens, of course, therefore, I have to consider this is a very, very complex structure. It can be, of course, kind of like a W, X, and a wave Y, somehow like this in double zigzag, somehow like that with an X. If this happens, of course, therefore, I might consider a bullish scenario again. But we gotta be careful, of course, from these scenarios. So basically, I'm gonna watch, of course, here a 1, 2, 3 wave, a 4, and a 5. I might still, of course, move towards these blue boxes. If broken, of course, therefore, we have to claim here something much more bearish, which we mentioned already on the daily, which it can be, of course, 3 ways down, and then you have kind of like a 3 ways up as W, X, and a Y. And this is a big 1, 2, and then several 1, 2s here, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, which it might dive very, very deep for FET. So we gotta be careful with it. That was it for SUI, Render, and FET. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.